on, Jen? Jen will be in Bali for 2 weeks. Like a bitch. So I will be filling in for her, due to a flight scheduling conflict. And this week is question week. Yay! So I'm answering a question from our Facebook, that says, do you sometimes catch yourself having prejudices against certain body types, or also styles, clothing, hair, etc.? How do you feel about why we have them, and why is it so hard to weed them out? So, I'm really big into philosophy, as you may know, and Edmund Burke is kind of the father of aesthetic theory. If you've ever read him, I had this whole class on the beauty and the sublime. So, beauty is this concept, according to Burke, that is intrinsic and inherent in all of us. Like, there is this overwhelming, what is the word? Instinctual. There's this instinctual sense of what beauty is and what beauty isn't. And then we've developed to a point where we can convince ourselves that certain things are beautiful or enjoyable, even though when inherently they're really not. Like, the example Burke uses is a cup of coffee. How it really is this bitter substance, but we've dressed it up enough to the point, or we've trained ourselves enough to drink it to consider it like, oh, this is an enjoyable experience, it's really beautiful, da-da-da-da-da. So I think when it comes to what we find attractive and what we don't, there really is this mix of inherent ideals and also learned ideals. And then another level on what beauty is like, beauty is this positive experience, this positive identity, and in order for us to describe and identify beauty, we have to have this antithesis, or this negativity, that will complement and uplift what beauty really is. So, in order for us to have individually defined our own sense of what beauty is, we have had to have experiences of what ugliness is, what negativity is, and so we've ultimately already decided what we're attracted to and what we're not, but we allow ourselves to have more experience, to collect more evidence, to gain more knowledge in order to transform the idea of what beauty is in another time and place. So experience and what we consider knowledge all tie in to what we find attractive. Are society's ideals always right? No. Are an individual's ideals of beauty always right? No. But is there an end-all idea of the right kind of beauty? No. Like, as far as we know in philosophy, there is no ultimate truth that we have found. A lot of philosophers are trying to get to that ultimate truth. The other side is people don't think that ultimate truth exists. That's postmodernism instead of classical philosophy like Aristotle, Plato. But these prejudices we have, I don't think we can't exist in a system of only beauty, because we need that experience of what we're not attracted to in order to even define the experience of what we are attracted to. With that said, my ideals of what an overweight person's life was like before I joined this channel were way different than they are now. Like, I just assumed that most overweight people were unhealthy, they just didn't give a shit, they just wanted to eat and didn't care about dealing with their emotional issues or anything. But now, after the experiences I've had with the other members of this channel, my view of, beauty or what's acceptable has dramatically changed, because I've heard their stories of them trying to be a fit person, or having their parents force them to go to a fucking dietitian when they're 5 years old, like some fucked up shit, and they're perfectly healthy, they're just built differently, and that is perfectly fine, that's perfectly acceptable, and that's what this channel is about. Self-acceptance is not about just accepting what's beautiful in you, it's also about accepting that ugly dark side of you, which exists. I think we all exist in a duality of beauty and ugly, I guess. That usually beauty is with the sublime. That can be another video of me talking about the beautiful and the sublime. But for now, like, those prejudices, they're self-determined as well as societally determined, and it really is up to you if you want to be conscious of those and break those cycles, or be conscious of it and reinforce those cycles. So really, I don't think there's a problem with it. It's just an inherent part of the system of life. Like, you can't, I really don't think you can escape it, and if you can't escape it, you're gonna be living in an Ayn Rand novel called Anthem. Like, I don't know. Like, I think they're perfectly healthy, perfectly normal, perfectly natural. Where the difference is between what you're attracted to and what you're not is if you judge something based on whether you're attracted to it or not. That's where the negativity comes in, is with that judgment. Alright, I think that sums it up for me. I can re-explain myself Thursday if anything is unclear or you want to argue with me. That's awesome. Yeah. Keep leaving us more questions. We love answering them, and I'll see you Thursday.